And we're live. Hola, buenas tardes. ¿Cómo están? ¿Lista, Isabela?
Lista, let's do it.
Okay, so I'll hand it over to Isabela for one of our Super Bowl classes, and here we go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another cooking class with Northgate. I'm your host for this evening. My name is Isabela, and welcome back, everybody. This is another class with Northgate. This is part of our home gating classes, and we're getting ready for the big game on Sunday. And we have a lot of fun recipes that we're going to cook today. A couple of recipes. We're actually cooking three different things. And before we get started, a little intro, a little small intro. If you don't know me, I am a chef, a food photographer, and a food stylist. And I was taught by the very best, which are my tias, abuelas, my dad who loves to cook. And my passion is serving others and cooking and serving others by cooking my food and sharing with others. And that's what I like to do. And that's my passion. So I'm very excited to be here for another class with Northgate. And let's get started. Today we are going to make a taquiza, which we're going to start. We're going to do that. And then we're going to make a queso fundido, which is nice to serve family style for that big game or for any carne asada or gathering. And it's super easy. And we're going to check that off their list. You're going to be a queso fundido profesional when we're done with this class. And yes, we are ending with piquete. And I have one of my favorite cocktails to end the class with, which is the Cadillac Margarita, okay? Entonces, hay que empezar. We are going to start with the queso fundido, okay? So what you need is 2 pounds of melting cheese. This is a 2-pound bag that I buy at Northgate. And I decided to go with Monterey. You can do Oaxaca, you can do mozzarella, you can do queso Chihuahua. I like to go with Monterey. Why? Because it has enough fat that I don't need to add extra fat to my skillet in order for it to not stick, okay? So go with a nice and hearty, nice fat melting cheese, okay? So we're gonna start with 2 pounds of that cheese. Then we're gonna do half a pound of Northgate signature pork chorizo de puerco. And then I'm gonna add onion, champiñones or mushrooms to our queso fundido. And we're gonna do half an onion, thinly sliced into half moons. And we're gonna do 1 garlic clove minced, okay? So that's what we're gonna get started. But before I start doing my queso fundido, and what queso fundido means, for those of you who don't know, is basically a baked cheese, okay? And you can eat it with tortilla chips. You can eat it on a warm tortilla and make yourself a taco. It's normally served as a botana, as an appetizer. And here I have my taquiza, paquete taquiza. So Northgate has your back covered, and head to your local Northgate to buy this taquiza packet. Super easy. I always buy it, and actually I went to buy it this morning, and they had everything nice and ready for you to go. So they have this, they have the chorizo next to it, they have cheese next to it, so you can get started with your taquiza, okay? And what we have here is asada, adobada, and chicken, okay? Everything seasoned to perfection and marinated, and está muy, muy rico, y van a pensar que contrataste un taquero en tu casa, okay? En tu carne asada, tu taquiza. So we're gonna get started on the queso fundido first, because we're gonna bake it. And your oven should be at 425 degrees, okay? We're gonna, I'm using a skillet. That's where I'm gonna cook my chorizo. And let me get started with that. And then we're gonna bake it. So it bakes, so it broils, and so it melts, okay? I preheated my skillet just so, because my stovetop takes a while. I preheated my skillet, and I'm gonna add a medium-high heat. And I'm going to add my half a pound of chorizo, okay, in here. And this is the skillet where we're going to cook, where we're going to actually bake our queso fundido, our cheese, okay? So that same skillet, we're just going to cook our chorizo. I did not add any fat to the skillet. chorizo has enough fat for it to cook, okay? So don't add any more fat to this. This is gonna start and cook, and we're gonna cook it until it's nice and crispy, okay? And it's already starting to smell so good, and we're not even halfway done, okay? So there was this place in Tijuana a long time ago, and I believe there was another one in Mazatlan, which was called Señor Frogs. And I was little, I didn't get to party at this place because it was like kind of like a club restaurant thing. But you can also, it was a restaurant, so you could also go and have lunch or dinner. And one of their specialties was their queso fundido. They would have different types of queso fundido, and it was just a good old time. And I remember they had one that they added mushrooms to it, and I'm a big fan of mushrooms. So that's why we are going with mushrooms. So I'm gonna have my chorizo. So just like that. And what you want to do with chorizo, it kind of comes in this casing. You want to remove the casing and you want to add it to your skillet, and you kind of want to help it out with a spatula or a wooden spoon so it starts to break apart. Okay, so that's how it's gonna start to get nice and crispy. Okay, you want your chorizo to be nice and crispy. I'm gonna turn on the heat. Just make sure you don't burn your chorizo. You want nice and crispy. Okay. And what we're gonna do when I'm done cooking my chorizo, I'm gonna same skillet. I'm gonna leave it just like that. I'm not gonna clean it or anything. I'm just gonna remove my chorizo and place it in a bowl because I'm gonna continue to cook my 2 cups of sliced mushrooms and my half white onion that I thinly sliced, and my garlic. Okay? This I am going to season, but stay tuned. And if you guys have any questions, remember I can pace myself. You guys ask along, okay? People in the back, what's your favorite Super Bowl food, appetizer, snack, or even drink? Hamburgers. Okay. Wings. Ooh. Last year I made my honey chipotle wings. Okay. Those are really good. They're posted on my Instagram. Those are also a crowd pleaser.
Also guac.
Guac, yes.
Really good
Guacamole. Guacamole. My family loves this queso fundido. They love it. They're actually waiting for it to be to be ready. So while my chorizo continues to cook, maybe you want to show them how it's starting to look, because you saw it's a sausage. It's basically a sausage. So there we go. Chorizo is looking nice and delicious. And I just help it out a little bit like that. And it's gonna continue to crisp up. And chorizo is basically ground pork that is seasoned with chile and other spices. And honestly, Northgate's chorizo is amazing. Even if you make some quesadillas with chorizo, well, you can make yourself a taco of queso fundido. That's basically like a quesadilla. Just like that. Remember, if you guys have any questions, let me know. And as you can see, it's starting to leave its own fat and its own grease on that pan, and that's going to help to cook our mushrooms and to cook our onion. There we go.
I have a question.
Question, yes.
Did you add extra oil?
I did not add extra oil to the chorizo. I'm only cooking it in its own grease or its own fat. So do not add any extra oil to this. This will be oily enough for your chorizo to cook and not stick, okay? I do recommend using a skillet. Why? Because easy cleanup, because you're actually gonna cook your chorizo here, you're gonna cook your mushrooms here. It's kind of like those one-pan dishes, okay? So we're gonna do everything in the same skillet. So I do recommend that you use a skillet that you can also pop in the oven instead of just like a bake-proof dish, okay? Because we're actually cooking and then we're placing in the oven just for the cheese to melt. Okay, so that's my chorizo. Ooh. Looking good, it's looking good. Huele muy, muy rico. Nice and cooked down, nice and crispy. Because that cheese is gonna be nice and melted and nice and smooth. And this is gonna give it a little bit of that crunch, okay? I'm actually gonna start preheating my pans for my meat, just because they take a little while to heat. Also for your taquiza, I'm gonna preheat them and then I'm gonna move my skillet, it'll be good. Also for your taquiza, you can definitely make this prep and this situation, you can make it on the grill. If you're grilling outside, I've done this before, right? Today I didn't want to cook it too dark outside, but you can definitely cook this in your grill, tu asador, para tu taquiza. You can start heating skillets on your grill. You can do put this skillet for your chorizo on the grill as well. And you can just close up your grill and this will be like an oven. Today we are baking this. Chorizo is looking good. I'm gonna get it to be a little bit more crispy before I remove it. There we go. And it will get a little darker. That's what happens with chorizo. The color starts to darken when it's fully cooked, okay? I'm gonna take a little break antes de la margarita. Y un saludo muy grande a Diana, Isis y a la Agua Carmen. Están viendo en su casa y que me pidieron que por favor las saludara, porque iban a estar muy atentas. There we go. Oh, that's looking nice, nice and crispy. What's your favorite chorizo? Chorizo appetite or a favorite recipe with chorizo? Would you like huevo con chorizo? She likes huevo con chorizo. Ahí atrás, tu receta favorita con chorizo.
Chorizo con huevo.
Oh, ya dijimos eso.
Patatas con chorizo.
Papas con chorizo.
Patatas con papas.
Uy, se nos está volando el chorizo. Okay, that's starting to crisp up really nicely. I like soy. Sorry? Oh, she likes soy rizo, which is soy chorizo, which is also good. I really like sopes con queso y chorizo. Okay. So I'm gonna I'm gonna place my chorizo in this little bowl so I can continue to cook. And you can cook your mushrooms and everything in here. You don't have to clean it up because it's also going to give it nice flavor, okay? There we go. I can hear you. Get rid of all that chorizo. There we go. Nice and crispy. I am just going to add a little bit of avocado oil right here, because I don't want my onions to stick. Because I do have fat, but I might not have enough fat for my. Oh, and I'm gonna add my onion. I'm gonna use the same one because everything's going in the same dish. So I have that, and look at that. Las cebollitas ya se empiezan a pintar, so the onion starts to get a certain color. Get a nice color and flavor of the chorizo that was already there before. Just like that. We're gonna cook this for about 5 minutes, just until the onion is a little bit tender. Ooh, and I am gonna add my mushrooms now, my 2 cups of sliced mushrooms. Because mushrooms are, they They have a lot of water, so I want that to cook and I want it to absorb. So I'm gonna add a little pinch of salt, just like that, and pepper. And I do not season chorizo because chorizo is already, seasoned and it already has a lot of flavor, okay? So I just add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper to this. And I have my garlic clove in here to add flavor. Champignons. Ooh, that smells so good. And we're not even there yet, and it smells so good. Chorizo. Super. Nice and crispy. Any questions on the taquiza? Any questions on about anything, honestly? ¿Alguien contar un chiste? No se crea. Everybody's waiting for that drink. Tell me the truth. It's okay. No me agüito, como dicen. It's okay. I'm actually, le estoy saboreando una margarita because Cadillac Margaritas are my favorite. And I'll talk a little bit about why they're different than a regular margarita. So onions are looking good. Nice and flavorful. And I'll let them cook a bit, just like that. And oven is supposed to be preheated to 425, remember, before we pop that in. ¿Qué más? ¿Les canto? ¿Les bailo? Ooh, it smells so good. You can also go over on top of a steak, the mushrooms, that chorizo fat, and the onion. Really. As you can see, the onions, let's show them so they can see that the onions have started to cook down. And they are starting to become tender and a little bit translucent. That's what you want. So this is what you want, you guys, okay? That's what we're achieving, trying to achieve. Okay. Anybody cooking along? It's always fun to know if somebody's cooking along. Okay, so that's looking nice. I'm gonna toss it in that same bowl because we're gonna make this is the topping mix that goes on top of the cheese. Okay, so I'm gonna add the mushrooms and everything in here. I'm actually gonna turn off the heat because I'm gonna bake this. I don't need it to be super hot now. Onions, mushrooms. Me encanta el queso fundido. This would also have been a nice topping for hot dogs last week. Con chorizo.
I actually made them last week. They were so good.
Oh, you did? Oh,
yeah. The only thing I didn't have the roofless, the ones you wanted, and I know, but next time.
Yeah. Los roofless son algo muy tijuanense. Roofless are that TJ special touch. Okay, so here I have my skillet that I'm gonna add my cheese to. I am gonna just spray it with a little bit of avocado oil, but just a little bit. So para que no sea una costra. Okay, so it doesn't form like a crust. So we want that to be nice and melty. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the cheese. What? just gonna add like about half of it. So half of the cheese, about that. I'm gonna spread it out. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add half of the toppings and then top it off with the rest of the cheese, okay? And then do toppings. So kind of like a lasagna, okay, situation. So what I did is I did a little bit of a toss. Maybe you can show them. I'm gonna add half of the toppings. So we're gonna do cheese. There you go. Just like that. And I'm gonna leave the rest of the toppings for the top. So I'm gonna add cheese and I'm gonna add half of the toppings. We're going to top with the rest of the cheese. Just like that. So it covers, and this is, we like to do this because you get a little bit of that toppings when so you're not left over with just cheese and then everybody ate the toppings, okay? So we wanna mix it in. Así mero, muchachos, así mero. Just like that, we're just gonna spread cheese a little bit. Go. Yeah, sí se ve. So this is how it looks before it goes in the oven, okay? As you can see, or maybe we can show them. As you can see, it's already starting to melt because it was already hot, okay? But we're gonna place it in the oven and we're gonna cook it for about 20 minutes, okay? Place it in the oven. Really heavy. Going in. And then we're placing timers for 20 minutes. There we go. Okay, that's your queso fundido. That's it, okay, you guys? And we're gonna check it out in 20 minutes, but we're gonna start with our taquiza. This guy over here. Oh. So I have 3 different skillets, and like I said, you can do skillets, you can do non-stick pans, or you can do them on the grill, or you can do them inside, okay? What I'm gonna do is I'm going to unpack, and I have my mini Northgate signature corn tortillas. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this packet. I'm gonna place different proteins in different pans. I'm gonna get this guy out of the way. Nice and wrapped. Oh, and I do want to mention that this taquiza packet is now certified Angus beef. Entonces, la calidad es muy buena del carne. Okay, so I'm going to start with chicken. There we go. I'm going to add a little bit, and I'm using avocado oil because it's it can take the heat and it's healthy and it's nice. And this is the one that I buy at Northgate, and it's a spray. I'm just gonna add a little bit of avocado oil, and I'm gonna add my chicken. El pollito. Okay, there we go. There we go. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to spread it. Ooh, este pollo, this chicken is perfectly marinated. It's so good. So I'm just gonna spread it out so it starts to cook in evenly, just like that. They're already seasoned, but I am gonna add a little pinch of salt. And you can always season at the end as well to taste, okay? So we're starting with our chicken, and this is our chicken spoon. And then we're moving on to our adobada. Adobada or al pastor. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna okay. Then I'm gonna use this one for the adobada. Okay, and I will mention that the adobada, a mí me gusta poquito doradita. So I like my adobada a little bit crispy. So I'm going to cook the adobada for a little bit longer. Just going to add a little pinch of salt. Remember, you can always season at the end to taste. Okay, so we have our chicken going on. We have our adobada, our pastor, and then we're going to move on to our Angus carnita asada. Everything's so easy. It's already chopped, ready to go. ¿Se va a armar o no se va a armar la carnita asada? Como dice. Ya se armó la taquiza. Gracias a Northgate. Get rid of this side. Again. There we go. Okay. This is our carne asada. Ooh, look at that. Huele a taquería esta casa. Ooh. And this one comes with a little bit of onion. Oh, also the adobada. I think they all come with a little bit of onion. It smells so good. And the same. A little pinch of salt. You can always season at the end. Okay? I want to get my spoons mixed up. And I'm going to start to move my chicken around. And you want to cook your proteins for about 20 to 25 minutes. Chicken is going to cook faster than the rest of the meats. But you can also cook to taste, okay? Not to taste to your liking. You can also, if you want your chicken to be a little bit on the crispy side, you can also just cook it for a little longer. Maybe you can show them how our proteins are looking so they can see that this is our chicken. Honestly, I don't know which one to pick when I'm eating these guys. So this is chicken, nice and marinated. And we have our adobada. Look at that. Pastor. And we have our carnita asada. Ooh, they all smell so good. And why I wrote in the recipe is that you can have 3 of these skillets preheating at medium-high heat. So you can get your taquiza going and everybody eats at the same time, okay? Go. Okay. So medium-high heat, and I'm gonna clean it up a bit. Okay. Listo. So good. It's also an easy way of just cooking something and not having to think of an actual recipe. Because you already have your queso fundido in the oven. You already know how to make that. You already checked it off the list. Ya eres un queso fundido profesional. And that's your appetizer, and then this is your entree, okay? And if you have a big family, compras 2 paquetes de la taquiza. So good. Adobada looking. So camera lady, what's your favorite one of these proteins? Because I know you tried them before.
I like all of them. I
like all of them?
The carne asada.
Carne asada? Yeah, carne asada is super good because it's a classic. I'm going to move the adobada into a bigger burner. One of the bigger burners. So get that nice and crispy on high. love it, and you'll see, and I love to pair it with Northgate's avocado salsa, which is that salsa verde that also has avocado. So good. Let's move the salsa. There we go. That smells so good. Any questions on the taquiza packet? Any questions on, I don't know, about anything except football, please, because that's not my, I'm not an expert in that subject, but I'm definitely an expert in the food department, okay? Nos hizo falta Selena. Nos hizo falta Selena. That chicken, okay, rico. So if you don't have meat lovers, you have chicken and that taquiza, and everybody's happy. Rico.
What's your favorite?
Somebody asked or you're asking?
I'm asking.
What's my favorite what? I said the Adobada. Oh. I really like that pastor with that avocado salsa.
That's what you said? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
How do you like to eat them?
I like to eat this one in a tostada, or a taco, honestly. But I'm gonna serve these guys. And what I like to do is I like to have options for my guests, okay? I like to have tostadas, I have sopes, Northgate's pre-made sopes that I bake in the oven with a little bit of avocado oil so they get nice and crispy. It's also easier to clean up than frying them and healthier. So I like to do that, and I also like to serve warm tortillas. So my guests can make themselves a tostada de pollo or a tostada de adobada or a sope de carne asada. So that's up to you. Ooh, it smells so good. That taquiza, everybody. Nice and crispy. I used to be everything but salsa kind of taco person, and I now have become a salsa person. So in the recent years. I'm gonna go check the. That's perfect. Got 8 more minutes left, and it's gonna be nice and melty and delicious. Okay. Any questions, you guys?
We have a quiet group today.
Yes, we do. Están poniendo atención. And like I said, you can make them on the stove, or you can actually make them on skillets that on el enlasador on the grill. Okay. Oh, what is the chicken marinated with? I believe it's marinated with a little bit of lime juices and lime and orange. I believe. I do not know exactly, but I know it's really good. Ooh, carnita salad starting to get nice and crispy. We're all fighting for the most intense game. Well, not intense, the largest win.
So who are you rooting for, Isabella? The Rams or the Bengals?
The Rams, because California. The other ones are not from California, right? Yeah. Okay. No, because they're from LA, so that's who I'm rooting for. Me pone nerviosa con esas preguntas de los fútbols.
Estamos igual. I have no clue. I just know that the Rams.
Like, just kidding.
It's a blue team and a tiger team.
Exactly. Pero va a estar bien buena la comida, así que no me preocupo.
Y la tomadera también.
So.
Y la tomadera, ¿qué es lo que cuenta?
La tomadera. Who's in the halftime? Who's in the halftime? Halftime, I believe, is Snoop Dogg.
Yes, Eminem.
And then Dr. Dre, I think.
Yeah, ese de los... Estás muy joven.
Hey.
Supposed to be a really good halftime show, though. A ver qué.
Dan buen show, ellos.
No, I don't think they'll ever beat the J-Lo Chiquita one. So.
I know, right? I know. So now I'm actually cooking everything live, so bear with me. And we're still waiting for that queso fundido, okay? So we're good. And this is what you can actually do when you're cooking for your guests. You can prep the queso fundido. You can actually have your queso fundido prepped hours before and then just bake it when your guests get here. But you can just pop it in the oven. You can start cooking your taquiza, and then you can give them the queso fundido. So they're not waiting like the people I have here. They're waiting for the food. Desesperados. Tacho. Adobada. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil to my adobada because I want that one to be a little crispy. I'm just gonna add a little bit of oil so it starts to crisp. Que viene muy lean. Ya la vi que viene muy lean. Adding a little bit of that so it gets nice and start to get crispy and nice color and flavor. Okay. I'm going to take out the queso fundido. Okay, you guys. Maybe I should put it on top of this. Yeah. Okay. You guys ready?
Probably smells delicious.
It does smell really good. Ooh, you guys. And this is what you're looking for. You're looking for bubbles, okay? So you're looking for your queso fundido to be nice and bubbly.
Wow.
Just like that. I'm actually gonna heat a tortilla directly on the burner so I can try my queso fundido. And for the taquiza, I do like to serve them with the mini corn tortillas. Let's do 2. And I like to garnish, that everybody look at the queso fundido. I like to garnish with a little bit of cilantro leaves. Just so it has nice color and it also adds flavor. Look at that. Perfecto. Let me go grab. Please. Que no se me quemen las tortillas. I'm gonna use my adobada. Okay. Who's ready for that cheese pull? Camera lady? Are you ready? Let's do this. Look at that nice cheese pool. Not pool. Well, it's a pool of cheese. Pero quería decir pool. It's a nice pull, cheese pull. Look at that. I got a little bit of everything in that. Ooh, vean eso. Delicioso. Just gonna wait until it's not so hot so I can actually try it. We'll just have to un poquito. So good. Ooh, good. So that signature chorizo. Mmm. Amazing, you guys. Mmm. Todas mis recetas son suegra proof. Just kidding. No, but honestly, there are. La suegra está muy impresionada. Muy impresionada con su queso fundido, como el del Frogs, el señor Frogs, como el restaurante. So you serve this family style, and then you serve it with some warm tortillas on the side. Okay. And I think we're ready to move on to the taquiza, because we also have a drink that's waiting for us, okay? Bonito, nice and crispy. La carnita asada. Ooh, look at that. Nice and doradita. And what I like to do is I like to lift up this side. What I like to do is I like to serve, you can serve these skillets directly like on a bar or on in la mesa or anything, and everybody can make themselves a taco or a sope or a tortilla, okay, or a taco. And can you pass me this plate? So right here I have my sopes, I have my tostadas, and I have this warm tortilla, and we're gonna move this quesito, we're not gonna move it out of the way. We want it to be here because we want to show that we're kind of doing like a taco bar situation, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab another plate. Okay. So here I'm gonna make myself a taco de pollo. And this is what your guests would do, okay? They will make themselves a taco de pollo or a tostada or a sope, whatever you name it. Okay, taquito de pollo. I'm gonna grab a sope. Now that sope, I'm gonna make a carne asada sope. There we go. Ooh, qué delicia. Carne asada. Actually gonna switch. Much prettier plate. We're gonna do a taquito, just like that. And then we're gonna do a tostadita. Okay, so taco, sope. Y I would leave my adobada a little bit more crispy. Look at that. Okay, so I'm gonna start. My hands are clean, and we're actually gonna eat these taquitos. Okay. Okay, so what we have here is this guy. Okay, so I have my taquiza. Everybody served themselves a taco, un sope, una tostada. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna add salsita roja. Maybe you can come on in closer. Salsita roja for that sope. Yes. And then we're gonna do salsita verde for that chicken taco. Esta es la de aguacate de Northgate, one of my favorite salsas ever. We're also gonna do verde for adobada. Goes really well with that. So I have my salsas here. I have my salsas, my chopping station, and then I'm gonna do cebollita to all of them. Just like that. And then I'm gonna top off with cilantro. Okay. Actually, that sope deserves double salsa. So we're gonna do that carne asada sope. You can also buy a Northgate's wok. So there you go, you guys. Tu taquiza, Northgate's got you covered. Puedes hacer, you can do all tostadas, you can do all warm tortillas. That's it. You made taqueria style tacos at home for your home gating. I'm gonna have these salsas here. So this is my, maybe you can show them, queso fundido. There you go. Are you still waiting for that piquete? Don't worry, we're moving on to the piquete, okay? So any questions on the taquiza? Any questions on that queso fundido? Should we move on? Is everybody ready? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. So Cadillac Margarita. So a Cadillac Margarita, what it is, what makes it different than a regular margarita is that it has two different liqueurs or licores, okay? So today we are using our 1800, which is one of my favorite tequilas. I'm gonna use a cristalino, but you can also do silver. This is also an amazing tequila to just sip on its own. So 1800, I'm gonna add Cointreau, which is an orange liqueur, and I'm gonna add Gran Marnier, okay? And el chiste de esta margarita, so what makes this margarita special is that the Gran Marnier is added at the top, at the end of each drink without it mixing it in, and it's called floating. So it's a technique that bartenders use, okay? So it's floating liquor on top. And what it is, it helps your liquor that last liquor you're layering on top of it, and it helps all the flavors of the liquor, of the margarita to, when you sip it, you get a little bit of that Gran Marnier first, and then you get the rest. So that's what makes it a Cadillac Margarita, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna moisten the rim of 2 glasses, just like that. And here I have, and let's show them. Here I have, can we show them, please? And here we have orange zest in my salt, okay? So since this margarita has orange liqueur, I decided to play on the notes of that orange, okay? So I'm adding a little bit more orange to this drink with the orange zest, okay? So there we go, 2 glasses that I moistened the rim and added orange zest to the salt. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna add ice to a shaker. I'm gonna use a spoon because it's faster. Or not. So we're gonna add ice halfway to our cocktail shaker. Not all the way, because you want that liqueur, or you want that tequila to fit, okay? So I'm adding ice, and what I'm gonna add is, you need 4 ounces of a freshly squeezed lime juice, which is about the juice of 3 large limes, kind of this size. Okay, and I'm gonna add 2 ounces of Cointreau, which I also love to bake with this. I have a orange chocolate bundt cake that I like to use, and I do orange liqueur. So I'm gonna do 2 ounces of this. And this is a 2 recipe drink, okay? 2 cocktail drinks. So each cocktail gets an ounce of Cointreau, and then of course, cristalino. And this we're gonna do 4 ounces, okay? Ooh, it smells so good. We're gonna do 4 ounces. Average cocktail per person is 2 ounces per drink, or more. No, just kidding. but that's an average cocktail, okay? It's Cristalino de 1800, and it's such a beautiful bottle. If you have this in your bar cart, it's even decor. And we're gonna do, I'm gonna do 1 ounce of agave. You can also adjust sweetness. You can also do, you wanna do it like a skinny Cadillac Margarita. You can also do Splenda or Stevia. I'm using agave nectar because, hey, it's an agave drink at the end of the day. So that's what I'm using. And we are going to shake. Shake until our cocktail shaker becomes nice and cold and your hands are actually getting cold. You shake for about 2 minutes. That. You can make a little dance. Do a little dance. Ooh. Already sounds and smells delicious. Okay, good enough. And then we're gonna add more ice to our cocktail glasses after we've moistened the rim and coated it with salt. More ice. There we go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to divide my mixture in my cocktail maker. Oh, this one always gets stuck because it's cold. Wait. This has happened before. Okay, let me see if somebody in the back can try. It gets stuck because it's really, really cold. If not, we can just strain this. Okay. And what I have here is I baked these orange slices. I baked these orange slices with a little bit of sugar. So I kind of brulee them, as you can see. And they're going to be used for decor. Somebody's dancing the Macarena. Oh yeah, my dad used to be a bartender, so that's why he's helping out. I can just strain it, it's fine. La verdad, creo que el cocktail shaker está defectuoso. Okay, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pour my, there we go. Just like that. Oof, there we go. And what I'm gonna do, and what that technique that I just mentioned called floating. So I'm gonna divide my 2 ounces of Gran Marnier, and we're gonna do floating on top. And we're gonna do half on this. That's why Cadillac Margaritas have a different color than regular margaritas. They're a little darker, a little bit more yellow because of that Gran Marnier. And Gran Marnier is also an orange liqueur, but it has, I believe, one of the liqueurs in it is whiskey and cognac. So look at these Cadillac Margaritas. They kind of look like a sunset, you guys. And what we're gonna do is we're going to add a bruleed orange slice because we're different. Look at that. Cadillac Margaritas, you guys. One of my favorite cocktails, a signature margarita. And you're
that looks amazing.
The Super Bowl or any other event. Now we're gonna have to try them. A little bit of salt.
That looks amazing.
Oh my God, it's so, so good. That orange zest in the salt makes all the difference, you guys. Please do it. It's an extra step, but it's so, so good. And it's, la vida está en los detalles. So those little details, life is about details, okay? So salud. Remember, if you make these recipes, tag me, tag Northgate, tag my handle. We love to see when you guys cook our food and photograph it. And next week I have another class on Thursday, so stay tuned. Muchas gracias.
See you next week. Thank you. And everybody else, see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.